Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Today we're going to be reading through the patch notes. I know this channel has been just reacting to trailers and stuff recently, but don't worry, there's a bunch of content coming. We're going to be actually playing the game tomorrow and forever onwards, basically. And if you haven't subscribed, and 63% if you haven't, then you may want to, because yes, of course, there's going to be a bunch of Season 12 content coming soon that isn't just reading stuff or reacting to stuff. But either way, it's very exciting. We are going to jump in and react to the new patch notes, the full patch notes, the official ones, every little detail. Let's go. So of course, Mad Maggie is kind of the star of the show. She's got some very interesting abilities. We saw in the creator playtest that her ultimate is kind of crazy. Her tactical could be really good in the current meta with how strong Gibby is, especially in high-level ranked play. So she could have a spot in ranked, but we'll wait and see. Passive seems pretty good on paper, but we don't really know how useful it really is. We did find out that Okay, this is really good to know. No movement speed penalty when wielding shotgun. So what that means is when you don't have a weapon out, when it's holstered, you move at 299 velocity in game. When you then have a weapon out, so you're able to shoot, you have 260 velocity. Whether it's a pistol or an LMG, if you're not ADS'd and you're hip fired, your velocity will go to 260. So essentially, Mad Maggie will always be able to run with a shotgun at sort of normal running speed that would be there as if you were holstered. So are you going to be able to chase down people? Are you going to be able to chase down Octanes and Pathfinders with this passive? Absolutely not. If you really think about it, most people put away their weapons when they're running anyway. It's going to be quite interesting to have that movement speed when you're hip firing. That's going to feel different. But if you think about the stats, it's 260 versus 299. So it's like a 30 velocity difference. So it's about 10 to 15% faster, whereas Octane Stim is 40% faster when strafing. No, sorry, 30% faster when strafing. Same as Bangalore's, I believe. So it's not that massive, don't worry. The passive tracking thing, the highlighting enemies as well, is only for Maggie as well. So that's important to note. She's not going to be a wallhack legend that everyone's going to use for their team play potential. So that's pretty interesting. Of course, we have Control, which we saw a lot about. We already kind of looked at the blog there, and we saw some gameplay of it. Looks a lot of fun. It is limited time for now, but it could come as a full mode in the future. They kind of haven't ruled that off. Also, we are getting the anniversary event. Not really too much about that here. We still don't really know much about exactly how that Bloodhound skin works, but we are getting a bunch of free packs each week if you log in from February 8th to March 1st. So you'll get Valkyrie for free, Octane for free, and Watson for free, alongside a bunch of thematic packs and legendary packs as well. And then we had the Olympus Map update. We took a look at that as well. We've got a bunch of new POIs coming. We can take a quick look at that if you haven't seen it already, but essentially we got a bunch of kind of quality of life changes. The map has been expanded outwards. So Bonsai has been moved northwards, and in its sort of the empty space that would have been there, we have this massive POI. And here there's a big button that you can press, and it will spawn loot balls every 45 seconds, one of which is guaranteed legendary gear. So that's pretty cool. This is the POI. We've got a new indoor POI as well, which is kind of near Hammond Labs. It's small, but it's kind of like almost the same size as Hammond Labs, actually, looking at it now. And as you can see, here's a better look at how the map has literally just been expanded outwards. So the playable area has grown somewhat. Instead of them just destroying stuff, they've brought out more play area. And of course, there's a few little rotations that they've worked on, which is nice to see. World's Edge really became the best sort of competitive map because of all these little rotational changes. So Olympus could end up being like an ALGS map in the future, like a good one. We'll have to wait and see though. Storm Point also got some updates. Parallel damage has been reduced to 20, and they reduced the knockback forced. And you get 150 crafting materials for killing a Prowler nest. That's pretty good. All players, regardless of squad in the area, get a share. Okay, so if you clear the large nest, you'll get 250. The big one, the Jurassic Park area, pretty cool. They've overhauled the targeting rules to use damage as the primary factor, which help wildlife targeting feel more fair and less random. A targeting cap. Only 3 prowlers will be able to target a player at once. Prowler den spawns are now disabled when there are 2 teams inside of the same nest. Okay, so that's going to stop prowlers third partying. That's a nice change. Slight increase to high-tier consumable drops on wildlife. So that's good. I feel like the loot on Storm Point's a little bit harder because like on Olympus and Wild's Edge and even King's Canyon, there's a bunch of loot features that allow you to get access to more loot easier. But that is not possible on Storm Point. You have to shoot AI and it takes a bunch of time and you don't really get what you want immediately. You have to keep upgrading stuff through killing them. They have a healthy spread of landing locations on Storm Point. We realize the typical dropship logic often made the high northeast corner of the map particularly tough to landing. So basically they've changed the dropship pathing a little bit. They've now changed... Oh, okay. So it will attack vehicles better. And also you can reliably stun them with Watson and Ash's stun abilities. Okay, rank update. Interesting. In Apex Legends, the primary goal is to be the last legend standing, and racking up kills is the vehicle to get you there. Last season, we made changes that opened up flexibility by compensating players with high kill counts that didn't necessarily place first. We like this flexibility, but after observing... I can't speak. Whenever I do these videos live, after observing the pacing of high-level ranked games, we saw players were focused on seeking out kills a little too much. Yes, the ranked meta in Season 11 was pretty nuts. Players that are focused on fighting for higher placements and team play should be more faithfully awarded. So the max kill KP has gone down to 125. This is going to punish teams that undervalue placement. So we're bumping up placement points for teams in the top 5, easing back on kill KP cap, and adjusting kill per bonus to 2 to 3 kills less than to hit the minimum. Okay. Split 1 will be on Olympus, and then split 2 is King's Canyon. Interesting choice. I don't know why exactly. We'll be releasing new features where players will be able to determine which players they want to receive voice and text chat from, called communication filters. Okay. Interesting. I guess that's kind of to make sure if you don't want to hear people saying rude stuff to you, you can make sure it's turned off. Crypto drone view HUD and other quality of life changes. Added game state, e.g. ring information, minimap. Okay, so the crypto drone has changed quite a lot. You got a nicer view. You can see the minimap stuff. You can see the kill stuff. You can see people's health a little bit better. You can see the survey beacons in the world. Neuralink changes. Oh, this is interesting. This is actually quite a big buff. They've increased the FOV from 160 to 240, which means you're going to be able to see a lot more. That's pretty interesting. You're going to get a nice little, like, wide area to look at when you first look around. Neuralink detection is now disabled while the drone is being recalled. Okay, I was going to say, hang on a minute, it's not disabled completely, but when you recall it, you can no longer detect people. The deployment of the drone has received a rework. So we know we've seen this in game. If you press the tactical button, the crypto will send it flying in a straight line in the direction crypto is facing. If thrown to a wall, the drone will hit the wall and reorientate itself. Crypto no longer immediately accesses drone view after deploying his drone. So you can press it once, it will go towards whatever direction he's looking in, and you got to press it again to enter it. Or you can press and hold, and you'll enter it immediately. The drone health has been reduced to 50. HUD marker for the drone has been tweaked, and the drone HUD marker is now displayed on screen while the drone is deployed. Okay, deployed. The crypto has been off the grid in terms of pick rate. That's got to be, you know the off the grid meme. If you've seen any Reddit posts, the off the grid crypto passive meme. Nice. Okay. Interesting. I mean, that's it. It's not too much, but I can see why they don't want to do too much, because it wouldn't take much to make crypto overpowered, in my opinion. Yeah, Caustic Gas Traps now. Let's move on to Caustic. 150 HP, you can destroy them after they've deployed. So after they're giving out gas, you can still shoot it and it will destroy. Detonator taps will expire 11 seconds, so they don't last as long. But the gas effect does linger for 2 seconds after barrel destruction or expiration. So this means actually they last for 13 seconds now, technically. So that's kind of a mini buff, but you can shoot them at any point and then you're only going to get 2 seconds of gas damage, which honestly, 2 seconds is still, that's 2 seconds. That's a lot of time. The R99 DPS is 199, right? 198. So 2 seconds is like 400 damage on an R9. Like if you're stuck in gas for 2 seconds, that could still be enough. But yeah, we'll have to see. On paper, this sounds like quite a big nerf. Alternator is on the ground loot. This is the biggest thing in for me, honestly. Being able to get a mid-tier weapon off drop that isn't a P20 or a repeater is amazing. Really happy about that. Volts going in, its damage has been increased to 17. Max mag size is 30. Now, this is actually going to be the most broken care package weapon, in my opinion, that we've ever had. Maybe, obviously we're not talking about the Kraber, but maybe the Mastiff when it first launched was kind of nuts. But 17 damage, this puts it, I did some testing. This puts the Volt at 204 DPS. It's going to have the fastest time to kill of any SMG ever. And it's super accurate, has really easy recoil, you can use it long range. It's going to be a beast. We've got the kinetic feeder for the Triple Take and Peacekeeper. It significantly speeds up choke time when you slide with it and automatically reloads around. So a pretty interesting hop up. I kind of want to see how it works in game, because you can only really slide. I mean, if you're in a fight, you're not going to be sliding if you're like kind of strafing back and forth. So interesting. We got hammer points back. P2020 is going to be the one that gets the most benefit from the hammer point. So basically, when you knock off someone's shield and then you do pure health damage to them, the hammer point increases the amount of damage dealt. RE45 plus 35 is quite a decent amount, to be fair. Shatter caps, this is quite an interesting change. They've passively affect hip fire for both weapons. ADS remains precision shot. So basically, you can't toggle it anymore. But if you ADS, you'll be in normal fire mode. And if you hip fire, you'll be in shotgun mode. So I don't know. It's kind of like an ease of use thing. But I did like the ability to change it before. And one of the things you could do with the repeater is you could ADS with the shatter caps to get more damage on it. So it seems like a nerf. This is a straight nerf to shatter caps, and they won't really use that often anyway. Bow pellet damage reduced, 30-30 pellet damage reduced. Yeah, this is a big nerf for the shatter caps. I was thinking more of it being a buff, but I was wrong. Triple Take has once again been nerfed. Okay, yeah, it's pretty nuts, that weapon, so it makes sense. It's been really positive to see it back to the floor loot, but it's proving to be a bit ahead of the pack. We're eliminating the bullet growth it retained from its days as a sniper to pull it in line with other marksman rifles. So if you don't know what that means, when you fire a sniper in Apex, it seems weird, but it really helps you to hit your shots long range. The further the bullet flies through the air, the larger the bullet grows. It literally grows in size. So if you shoot someone at 700 meters, your bullet is going to be big enough that it may actually hit somebody. But that's being removed from the Triple Take now, which is, fair enough, because the weapon has 3 bullets, which makes the bullet size already pretty big, and the bullet drop isn't that big either. Flatline's just got a straight nerf. The Flatline and R301 had relatively similar DPS, but the Flatline had a higher time to kill just because you have lower time to kill. I always get that messed up, because the higher damage per shot just meant that, you don't really get to see the real DPS kind of showing its face. Like, if you shot a 10,000 HP player, then sure, the Flatline and R301 would kind of kill that at the same speed, but the higher damage just meant that it would be quicker. On a, 200, 100 HP player, the Flatline would always win. And the higher headshot percentage as well, because if you hit a headshot with a higher damage weapon, it's going to be more impactful, right? Rampage Lmg. So we've already seen this. Damage reduced from 28 to 26. Reduced number of shots during the revved state from around 40 to 34. So yeah, nothing really changes there. We've already had that in the game. These are the new golden weapons you find in golden loot spots. RE45, so getting hammer point RE45 off drop is going to be pretty fun. We've got the Triple Take, despite it being nerfed, that is still around. Peacekeeper, of course, with the new hop up. Prowler and Havoc. So you can get a turbocharger Havoc off the ground if you get lucky enough on Olympus, which isn't hard. There's a lot of gold loot spots. Mastiff, 3030, R301, Cart and Longbow are gone. Now this is really interesting. The Flatline and DMR are literally permanently in the crafting station for 30 crafting mats. So that's not much. Basically, if you want to get these weapons, you're going to be able to get them, but you're going to have to go and craft. They have no attachments and 2 boxes of ammo. So, you know, pretty interesting way of doing things. When crafting first came out, you could craft weapons, and each week the weapon would change, or maybe each day, I can't remember. But that essentially has come back in a way, but the 2 weapons are permanently there. So if you're a Flatline fan and a Longbow fan, and you're not a fan of crafting, this season is going to be pretty tedious for you. As we continue to introduce new weapons and loot into the game, we must consider the impact it has on loot saturation and the ability to find specific pieces for loadouts. With this change, we're able to keep weapons available, but give our full loot some breathing room. I think this is a great concept for making sure the loot pool isn't just filled with things like 3030s and RE45s or whatever weapons you don't actually want. I don't know how they'll expand upon this, and I'm not sure why they particularly chose these 2 weapons. It may be because these 2 weapons are kind of, you know, you have the R301 that is very similar to the Flatline and what it's capable of, and the Longbow, well, what do you have really? You don't really have a fast fire rate sniper that really compares to it, so it's strange that they put that in the crafting. Medkit price is now cheaper. They keep making crafting more and more valuable each season since it's been added. They really kind of want people to craft, and I don't know why, but I don't mind crafting. I remember one of the times they made crafting, like a blog about crafting, and they said that crafting is like an event that happens on the game. People know it's happening. They get the icons, so it's actually like a way to control fights, interestingly enough. So this push for crafting may be something related to try and change the flow of combat a bit, but I don't know. So fixes here, I'm not sure if there's any like major fixes, to be honest. You can kind of look in this yourself. I'll put a link in the description. Added ability to see a teammate's survival item. Okay, that's nice. That's finally there. Private match updates. They're slowly making the progress towards bringing that to everybody, but not yet. It will. Private matches will come to everybody eventually, but not yet. So that's it for the patch notes. Still nothing about the collection event, which is quite surprising to me. Usually we get a separate blog for that, but I guess not this time. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe. I'll be doing a sort of countdown stream where you can just check by and see when the season's dropping. And then when the season actually does drop, we will, of course, be playing. I have a really awesome surprise to show you then in-game. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio!